The Embassy of India in Juba, in association with Indian Council for Cultural Relations (ICCR), organized in Juba a cultural day in honor of celebrating India's 70 years of independence. The event was attended by the Minister of Road and Bridges, Director General for International Cooperation in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, high dignitaries, the Turkish and Eritrean ambassadors and diplomats, and representatives for foreign mission in the Republic of South Sudan. The day was very colorful with culture and art performance from India and South Sudan. What really made the day to be special, the performing of Kathak Dance for the first time live in Juba by Sohini Debnath, who came all the way from Kolkata, India to Juba to make this day a success. However, they really impressed the audience by presenting on stage an Indian classical dance form. They was featuring by other performers including Juba Indian boys who presented Gorba dance, South Sudanese who performed an instrumental Indian song, and also a traditional dance by the Acholi group. The ambassador of India to South Sudan, in his opening remarks, he gave a brief introduction about India and he also introduced the Indian classical dance Kathak. The ambassador also talked the bilateral relation between South Sudan and India and how the two countries are developing their mutual relations.
Honorable Minister of Roads and Bridges, His Excellency Ambassador Moses Abol, General for International Cooperation in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Abednego Kochwal, National Elections Commissioner, Excellencies, distinguished guests, and dear friends, a very good evening to every one of you assembled here. I am delighted to welcome you all to the Indian Kathak Dance presentation this evening. This visit by the Indian dance troupe is part of the Indian Embassy's continuing efforts to reach out to the friendly people of South Sudan and promote Indian culture here. In today's presentation, we are showcasing the centuries-old genre of Indian classical Kathak dance. Yesterday, we had an exceptionally well-attended event at the UN House compound in Jebel. The dance troupe performed before an enthusiastic crowd of audience comprising the UN MIS personnel and peacekeeping contingents from various countries. Today, as well, I can see we have a large audience. Besides our South Sudanese friends from both the government and the general public, we also have representatives from the diplomatic corps as well as the expatriate community present here in Juba. We could not have asked for a more truly and a more representative international audience. Many among you, coming from different nationalities, have become familiar with the multifaceted aspects of Indian culture by watching Indian Bollywood films, especially the music and the dance numbers, which are popular and captured the imagination of different generations and captivated audiences worldwide. Of course, some steps and moves from the Kathak dance have been used freely in various popular Bollywood songs and dance sequences. However, what you will be seeing today is the classical version of the Indian Kathak dance, which originated from the northern and western part of India. The Kathak dancers' repertoire of dance items, while telling a story, focuses on hand and feet movement, with emphasis on expression of emotions, symbolism, beauty in motion, gestures and body movement, speed, range, and pattern. The details you will get to know once the dance presentation starts. Just for your general information and background, besides the Kathak dance, the other well-known classical and traditional Indian dance forms that originated and evolved in India are the Bharatnatyam from Tamil Nadu, Kathakali and Mohiniyattam from Kerala, Kuchipudi from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, Odissi from Odisha, Satriya from Assam, and Manipuri dance from Manipur in the northeast of India. I am sure today's performance would provide you a more deeper insight into a different aspect of India's rich dance traditions and culture, something different from what you have been watching on Bollywood films. This 6-member dance troupe has been organized by the Indian Embassy under the auspices of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, the ICCR in New Delhi. and its mandate of cultural diplomacy through a broad range of activities encompassing cultural festivals in India and overseas, supporting cultural institutions and sponsoring performers in dance, music, photography, theatre and the visual arts. I'm thankful to Ms. Sohini Debnath and a group members for immediately agreeing to our request to come over here when we first made our proposal. A few months ago, we were encouraged, within a few months, we were encouraged by the readiness and enthusiasm to come to a place which unfortunately has been perceived and portrayed as a difficult conflict zone. In our eyes, just like the members of the Indian peacekeeping contingents here, they are our heroes and heroines, having chosen to voluntarily come here and entertain and bring cheer to the people. They are truly India's cultural ambassadors, and I'm sure this particular visit will open up more frequent exchanges of cultural groups between India and South Sudan. Such events go a long way in enhancing people-to-people relations, contacts, and further strengthening the close cultural and friendly ties between our two countries. Hopefully you would enjoy tonight's dance performance and appreciate this attempt to present and showcase a small but vibrant part of the wide, colorful, and rich tapestry of ethos of Indian classical dance traditions. South Sudan is blessed with a rich variety and repertoire of traditional music and dance, like the Dinka Bor, Acholi, Mundari dances, etc. You also have popular exponents of modern musical genres like Emmanuel Jal, Mary Boyoy, Mijok Lang, Major Lax, Emmanuel Marco Kembe, Kennedy Loria, and so many others. So why not have more such events that contribute to cross-cultural linkages and visits? South Sudanese culture should be showcased for the benefit of international and domestic audiences here. And I'm sure our audience in India would also like to see and hear them. And I can assure you, visits by South Sudanese dance and music groups organized by the Cultural Ministry would be a great hit there in India. Finally, I would like to express the Indian Embassy's deep appreciation to the government of South Sudan, in particular the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for ensuring, the Ministry of Culture and the security agencies for ensuring a smooth conduct of the logistics relating to the visit and for facilitating the hiring of this grand venue, the Freedom Hall. The Indian community members here in South Sudan have also played their part in supporting this embassy by sponsoring and hosting this cultural group here in Juba. Our sponsors will be recognized by name in the vote of thanks at the end of this event. A big thank you to you all.
The Ambassador Moses Akola Jawin, the Director General for International Cooperation in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, he gave a brief statement about how rich is the Indian culture and the role of culture in communicating the nations.
As it was said earlier, Kathak was a tradition out of necessity when the British suppressed dance and song in India. And this is a very good lesson, that each time you press and you suppress a culture, in fact, the culture, just like water, has a way of showing itself and manifesting itself in different forms. The classic dance of India goes a long way, and of late, it has also been magnified, popularized by Ravi Shankar and his daughter, who is still producing beautiful Indian classic music. As the ambassador said, in fact, this kind of culture diplomacy works and goes a long way to cement relations between and among countries.
Her Excellency Rebecca Joshua, the Minister of Roads and Bridges, the chief guest for the day, showed her happiness to the Indian Embassy for organizing the event. And she said that one day South Sudan will go to India and show Indians also the beautiful culture of South Sudan.
I'm happy to be here and witness what's happening. It's really so fantastic, so good, so joyful. The Indian group or the troupe is presenting their cultural dance, which is a classical dance. And I appreciate the colors, the graceful dance, the coordination, and the environment in general. This is good because it reflects first the Indian culture, and also it's part of our relationship with the Indians, especially the Embassy of India here, and it's part of the diplomatic relations. So this really expresses the level of the relationship we have with India. Also, it reflects the culture, and it gives us a lot of lessons as the people of South Sudan, that we are aware that we have very rich culture in South Sudan.
Kathak dance is all about telling stories in a dance form, which based in the footwork, spins and hands movement with the facial expression that gives the full story that improves the audience.
The presentation that we are going to be doing tonight is called Vividha. And Vividha means variety of performances. Variety in Kathak itself. So what we are going to present is Kathak. I think you have all heard enough about Kathak already. So it is, we are going to be presenting 4 or 5 small pieces. They will give you an idea of the form Kathak. It has expressional dance, it has pure technical part, it has experimental pieces as well as mythological and traditional pieces. So in that small time format that we have, we would like to, want to share with you a wide range of the form of Kathak through small dance pieces, and these dance pieces, the musical pieces, are all original musical pieces which are created for us for the choreography. They are not available in the market, so these are specially choreographed, researched and presented before you.
Thank you.
The Indian community in Juba has participated by performing Gorba dance, which showed their celebration in many occasions.
मुझे पहचानो कहाँ से आया मैं हूँ बदनाम है, मेरे अंगने में तुम्हारा क्या काम है। जिसकी बीवी लंबी उसका भी बड़ा नाम है, जिसकी बीवी लंबी उसका भी बड़ा नाम है। होठे से लगा दो, अरे होठे से लगा दो, सीढ़ी का क्या काम है। होठे से लगा दो, सीढ़ी का क्या काम है। मेरे अंगने में तुम्हारा क्या काम है।
जापा क्या रतन मोल, आखी दुनिया में गुजरात मारो मोख रे, ए ना केवा मारे बेबो। अवकाशनी पहली यात्रा करनारी मारा मालकनी मारी गुजराती। अखंड भारत ना गणवैया एवा सरदार पटेल पण मारा गुजराती। अंबानी गुजराती, अदानी गुजराती, अंबानी गुजराती, अदानी गुजराती, गुजराती नी बोल बाला। अमेलेरी लाला, अमेलेरी लाला, अमेलेरी लाला, अमेलेरी लाला। हे काची केरी ने अंगूर काला। चौदह वर्षनी चारण कन्या हवन भगाड़े मारी गुजराती। मस्तक पड़े ने जना दड़ लड़े छे, डाडा बछड़ा ज पण मारा गुजराती। भातीजी गुजराती, हाथीजी गुजराती, भातीजी गुजराती, हाथीजी गुजराती, गुजराती नी बोल बाला। अमेलेरी लाला, अमेलेरी लाला, अमेलेरी लाला, अमेलेरी लाला। काची केरी ने अंगूर काला।
दादी माता ने सुने के देश बनिवार मोज दादी माता ने सुने के देश
The Acholi dance group is known as one of the best performing dance in South Sudan, and it was been proved that day they have amazed the audience. 360 Band has showed that music has only one language. It is music. So they have presented an Indian song. At the end of all the performance, the organizing committee has shown their thankfulness and gratitude to all the participants, and they called on the stage the chief guest and the other dignitaries to give appreciation certificates.
I think in South Sudan context, something which is very much needed here, because politics and diplomacy all go together, but no doubt about it. But we need to focus on other aspects of life, and that is where I think we need to relax ourselves, think of other ways and means where we can enjoy life. And this was a small attempt by the Indian Embassy to look at some other aspects of how we can develop our bilateral relations. And culture, music and dance is one great avenue where we can build bridges with other people.
As a host country, South Sudan offered a lot, and India, it's a, let's say, rich culture, and Kathak Dance, the best performance they did. And especially I just want to mention ICCR, that's the Indian Cultural Institute, and doing perfectly.
It is a very entertaining program, and it brings ultimate happiness to an individual. Music should be followed by everybody to bring peace into this country.
Very great show, very colorful. Actually, it reminds me my childhood. We were grown up with such kind of traditions. I also used to sing some of the Indian songs like Zindagi, Heksafa, Yesohana, Chel Chel Hati Marisati.